Reggie was grateful for his help. He needed to get to his brother as fast as possible. Would he find him still alive in the tower?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tales of Iron. So, I was thinking about something when I was talking to my sister about this game. I was thinking about adding like a little segment in here called Rat Fact, and it would just be like a little thing, a little fact that I come across or I look up and I think is pretty cool about rats or something about frogs because we're rats and we're fighting frogs, and I think that it would be interesting to have like a little like the more you know segment while we go through the game. Plan for this video, besides rat facts, is we're going to do more exploration and we're also going to start taking care of side quests. Now, I don't necessarily have to do them, but the game mechanic is in order for us to improve specific areas of like the castle, we're going to have to do side quests. Because we can't get the gold coins any other way. The only way that we can get gold coins is when we complete like quests on the board, and some of them have basically have like a little infinity symbol on them, and that means that we can do them whenever we want to because they'll always be available. And then of course there's going to be some that are we can only do them now. We can't do them anywhere else. So things like clearing out areas that have bugs in them. That's an infinity symbol like quest. But something like help the farmer with bugs in like his basement like we did in the last video, that was not going to have an infinity symbol on it because we've already cleared out his basement. He's fine. We don't need to help him anymore. So we're going to be doing that so we can get some coins, and then after that we're going to explore. I know now, this is future Catherine talking to past Catherine, that there was a save area and that there was a place for us to refill our canteen with bug juice, and also I think to pick up arrows. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I know that there is one now, but past Catherine was like, I really don't know what's going to be inside there, and I'd much rather not go inside and end up like, not having enough life to stay alive, and then I have to do this boss fight all over again. So just an aside of caution, went back, saved, refilled, healed, did everything that I need to do, and now we're just going to continue on.
The smith was alive, but the key to his freedom was held by Blocky Magoo, merciless leader of the Swamp Slayers. He squatted atop the tower, croaking orders to his clan. The village would soon be a ruin, and the frog spawn would feast on the dead.
You guys know that I do a lot of editing to certain segments of the videos. Like, you may see like a little bit of like a cut, a little bit like it looks like the camera jumped a little bit, or it'll be pretty seamless and you wouldn't know that I had already been in that place before, died, and then restarted from an earlier save so that I can get to that place. It happened a lot in Separate Ways. Like, with Separate Ways, I ended up having to redo the getting the red ink part of Ada's quest so she can get a temporary cure from Luis. And in this one, I had to restart this fight and go through the cutscene narration with the blacksmith all over again. So in the fight with Blocky, he has 3 modes. The first mode is that he uses his shield as a weapon. The second mode, he pulls out the first sword and still uses his shield. And in the third mode, he pulls out 2 swords and he uses them to swing at you. I had made it all the way to this part the first time around, and I actually got him down to have the prompt for the finisher. And he was sitting on the floor just like all the other bosses. Sitting on the floor, all I needed to do was approach him, press R3, and that would be it. And I thought that I had finished it. But what ended up happening is when I approached him, I guess the game considered his 2 swords as still moving? I don't know. I think it glitched out on me, so it still counted his swords as having hitboxes. So when I ran into them, I ended up dying. And so I edited out and just went from there.
The foul corpse of Blocky Magoo lay lifeless on the floor. He had croaked his last orders. Free of his chains, the smith would return to the Crimson Fort. The ranger would return to the lodge to begin to rebuild his guild. The young king thought he'd best check in on them both. poison. Applied to any blade, it could affect enemies of any size, giving Reggie a much-needed advantage. More grubs in the sewers. Reggie looked forward to a day when being king didn't involve so much time in sewers.
I mentioned in the beginning that this video is going to be a lot of side quests and exploration, and that's just because we have finished one part of the main quest, and that part was to get our brothers back. The second part of the main quest is basically to rebuild the town and to rebuild the castle and also to defeat Greenwart's army. But in order to defeat Greenwart's army, we need to make sure that our defenses and our food that we can give to the army and weapons and armor are all good to go. But in order to do that, we have to do side quests to that coin, because when you defeat enemies, sometimes you'll just get either iron ingots or you'll get bug wings, and that's the normal currency, but for specialized currency, you have to do side quests.
The ranger thanked Reggie for his rescue, but he still needed help. This infestation was of a size he'd never seen before.
Now is a good time as any to learn about rats. So here's our first segment of Rat Facts. Yay! That's my poor imitation at Kermit the Frog. I know. It's terrible. But this rat fact comes from the RSPCA in England, and they have a lot of facts about animals and how to take care of animals that you may have as pets. Also, I think they have facts on, farm animals as well, like cows, goats, sheep. But for now, we're going to learn about rats. So the first fact is rats are intelligent. And they know this because giant African pouched rats have been trained to detect tuberculosis, which is something I didn't know. And also to help fight wildlife crime by sniffing out the scales of pangolins, which are thought to be the most poached animal in the world. They've also been trained to sniff out explosives and have safely located thousands of landmines in Tanzania, Mozambique, Angola, and Cambodia so they can be removed. Not only that, but rats can also count to 10. They can also be trained using positive reward-based methods to do things like respond to their own names, give high fives, fetch a ball, roll over. So yeah, rats are pretty cool.
The young king hoped that was the last of them, and that the smell would wash off his armor.
I feel like if we do enough of these bug hunts, we're going to get a request to effectively kill the bugs once and for all. And it's going to be like, fight the queen or something like that. But I don't know, it could just be a bunch of side quests like these and just with maybe like mini bosses, like big bugs that are probably controlling them or the ones that are laying the eggs. I can't really say too sure, but I do feel like we're probably going to get like a big boss battle after completing more of these quests. now that we've mapped out the sewer system a little bit better, we're going to go back to the ranger station. I do wish that there is some way that I can explore the areas on the map that are covered in green, but I don't think we'd be able to do anything until later, just because when I walk into that area, it starts to sap my health. So I'm guessing I either A, need to have some form of like equipment, like a mask or something like that, to go through there, or I need to have maybe like a vehicle, or maybe I need to find a way to disperse the gas.
Was there no place the grubs would not infest? Even the sewers were overrun. Any more of them in the kingdom would stink like the Froglands.
I really wish that we can do more than one quest, because both of these take place in the sewers, and I could have knocked both of them out at the same time, but it's okay. We're just gonna head back down since we're here and we have a way to get to the sewers easy. And then from there, I'm going to check to see if there's any other quest anywhere else and go from there.
The young ranger warned the king what he was about to walk into. Grubs like these were not to be underestimated. The grubs were gone, and the stench was contained. The village might still be smoldering in places, but that wasn't enough to stop a hardened business rat like the shopkeeper from selling his goods.
I know that I keep mentioning it, and I know that you guys are going to get tired of me for it, but I really like the developers put in the work and the thought to create a world in which it feels alive. And it feels alive because it has people walking around, it has people building things, rubble is getting cleared out, bodies are getting cleared out. The inn doesn't have people needing to be healed anymore. There's people like relaxing in this back area, listening to music and stuff like that for morale purposes. The shop is open. We can start buying things from them again. And I really like that aspect. And yeah, I really like that the developers did that. And it's just, I don't know. It just makes me happy whenever I see that. That's like a game aspect. That I like.
The guard captain asked the young king to join him in the trial ground. There was something he needed to see. A monument to honor his father, King Hiatus. He would grieve after his kingdom was safe. A crossbow of finest hardwood. A weapon fit for a king.
So I actually prefer bows over crossbows, and it's just because I feel like bows are a little bit faster than crossbows. And it's probably just because crossbows are considered in most RPGs to be the heavy two-handed weapon for ranged weapons, and regular bows, you just need like dexterity really to use them. So whenever I choose a character who's like a ranger or like a rogue and they have access to a bow for long range, I will always choose bow over crossbow. But for now, I'm going to equip the crossbow and see how I like it. And if I like it, I'll keep it. And if I don't like it, then I'll switch over to a bow.
The chef wanted the renovations to start with the kitchen, as rebuilding a fort is hungry work. Apparently, also expensive work. In the golden age of Reggie's kingdom, he would invent taxation. But for now, he needed to complete quests for the Elder Rat to put coin in the royal coffers. A scouting party of frogs, out searching for any weaknesses in the village defenses. This needed to be dealt with, and quickly.
I was kind of curious about this in the first video, but I kind of forgot about it when we went to the second video. And in honor of both of our brothers being safe and sound and back in the castle, I had looked up what was the significance of the recipe book. So the recipe book is just like in Monster Hunter, where if you eat certain food from the palicos, it extends your life and your stamina. And while Monster Hunters is temporary, in this game, if you do the recipes, like if you eat the recipes, each recipe adds to your health little bit by little bit. And eventually, after eating all of like the various different recipes, you'll be at max health for the game, and it's a permanent boost. As we make our way to the quest area, I'm going to go ahead and say my goodbyes now. So thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'm really enjoying the game, and we're going to continue in the next video, basically doing a little bit more side quests. And that's just because after we help the chef, we have to help his brother, the blacksmith. And then from there, that should open up some new avenues for us to have better weapons, armor, materials, just in general. And we're also going to help some of the townspeople that are looking for things that they need. And yeah, so I look forward to that, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.
Robin had been tracking this warband of frogs for some time. They were becoming quite the team in dealing with pond scum. The scouting party had been dispatched, and the village was once again safe from the terror of frogs. For now.